Ron G Morning Show, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WSAN Radio. All right, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Very rare. We have a treat on Friday afternoon, but we are blessed with Dr. Goshay here this afternoon. And to let everybody know, we are broadcasting live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, plus the doctor is broadcasting live. So there's no way you miss us today.
No.
There's no way. And it'd be a replay of this interview later on. So if you do miss it, we'll have the replay going. So, Dr. Goshay, man, where should I start at? You got so much stuff going on, and I'm excited for you. You know, I met your cousin, and then talked to you earlier. See, we talked maybe once or twice or in between during the week, or we may go a week without talking, but we always talk, and she always got something. I don't know what to say, but this woman right here is somebody you need to look for in the future, because her name's going to be everywhere. I guarantee you on that. So the last time we talked, you previewed your short film.
Yes.
And the short film, I think we discussed it, without anybody knowing, the teenager stole the show. That was my opinion, because she was always going to that place to sit back and meditate and pray. And no matter what went on, she was so even keel. You know, she wasn't up here, she wasn't down there, she just even keel. It's almost like she was thinking what she was going to do without doing it then. Let me cut my phone off. My bad. So before we get started to your other projects, this sum up your thoughts on the audience and some of the feedback you got on your short film.
Well, I mean, I was very pleased that the audience enjoyed the film, so I was very pleased with that. Definitely intrigued by some of the questions. I think the next time that I do a Q&A, because I already know the answers to these questions, or the questions they probably going to ask. So I think I'll kind of shy back a little bit and give them an opportunity to ask the different questions, because I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, I've been through this before, but nevertheless, the response was great. People they felt the movie, which that part was what I was hoping for. So I was very happy with the response. So yeah.
Oh, that's good, because we had a little question after the showing, and people came up and gave their thoughts and their truth, what they felt about it and seen it, and all of it was positive. And you have to look at what you wrote, and I look at today's society that is so intertwined on what's going on today, and what the short film told us. So, and that right there then that film could be shown in the 50s, it could be shown in the 60s, it could show in 2030, and it will still have the same concept.
Yeah.
Is that what you were planning on doing with that, or it just happened?
Um, I knew that it's a message that is definitely timeless.
Mhm.
It's something that has happened before my time. I'm sure it will continue to happen. We hope. We always want for trauma to never happen, but unfortunately, it's happening every day, and oftentimes it's either sugar coated or made light of. And so the more awareness that happens, we hope that at least if we cannot get 0% from it happening again to people, that at least they know that there is help out there available to assist them.
Okay, that's good. All right, now we got that out of the way. You were telling me about some new projects and things you got going on, and one of them is your book.
Yes.
So let's
Yes.
talk about that book you got on the horizon.
Well, I mean, I am super excited about this book because, they always say if you see a need and you're able to meet that need, success is inevitable, obviously.
Hmm.
So, but this particular book, it taps on a need that is everywhere, that's needed everywhere. And so whether it's here in Texas or um, in any other state, region, whatever, if you're a business owner, and you're either trying to start a business, whether you're going to be a vendor of a business or the host of a business, this book is for you. And I am so excited to be writing it and to have had the opportunity to interview different business owners that have taken time out of their schedule to sit down with me, go through the interview, give me their feedback. Based because anytime you're doing a study of any sort or writing, doing research, you always want to make sure that you capture the intent of the person that you're interviewing. You want to get it right. You don't want to write something that they didn't mean or they didn't say. And so I was able to do that. So we have one more interview that we're looking to do. But the biggest thing to that is every book needs a cover.
Mm.
And so I am so happy to be running this art contest is what is coming up. So yesterday I was writing down all of the criterion. I have already made a post on Facebook, so yeah, I need to go to Facebook because for all of the artists and stuff out there that will be one of the participants, they will need to sign that form to even enter into the contest. So I will shed a little bit here since we're on the topic.
Okay.
Um, the art contest is, and this is not to negate that talent is not at any other institution, college, or university, but I wanted to target HBCUs, which are historically Black colleges and universities. And there's a reason for that. Oftentimes a lot of these other colleges and universities, they already get grants and things offered to their students, and unfortunately a lot of the HBCUs uh, students, they are kind of left out in the cold. And different organizations, fraternities, sorors, and so forth, they try to raise funds and capital for students to enter, but once you enter, then what? How many grants and opportunities? It's kind of like we focus on the high school students, being able to get into the college, but then they still need to survive while they're there. And having had four kids that went through college, it was not easy. So, they had to pay for food and room and board and uh, you know, uh, the college fees, the books, all that stuff costs money. So every little bit helps, it counts. And so for me, I wanted to focus this on for HBCUs, for students that are already in school, not going to school, not planning on attending an HBCU, but you are already enrolled in an HBCU. And it doesn't matter what your grade is. I just wanted to throw that criterion out there. I'm not caring about your GPA. I don't care about that.
Mm.
What I I want you to succeed, obviously, don't be going
Yeah.
and failing. But but the objective is this, is that there are a lot of creative students out there. And so this is my way of giving back. And so will share what the prize is. For the winner of this contest, the the number one prize is your artwork, if selected, gets to be on the front cover of my book.
Wow.
So that is huge. Not only that, but you will also get the credit. So it'll say, obviously written by me, published by my company, but it's going to say illustrated by you, by
Mm.
whatever name that you provide, whether you want to be anonymous or, you want to put your company name there. I don't
Hey,
care. It doesn't
oh,
matter to me.
they could put down Ronald Gordon. I don't care.
So, but that's the biggest thing, is that we want, like I said, to capitalize and start highlighting um these HBCU universities. But the biggest thing out of all of this is, now I can say all day, absolutely, you'll get notoriety, because you're gonna be your you can use that in your portfolio to say, hey, my artwork was in a book, right? It's been published. But it's now I want to meet an immediate need. Now, I am not a millionaire, okay? But I am always out there and willing to help our young people. And so the third prize is the $150 to
Ooh,
use for your college expenses. Now, it is not a whole lot of money, because I'm not there making millions of dollars yet.
yeah.
So, but it's something. And I know $150 worth of groceries, going to college, you just hit, you know, you can have steak for the week,
There
okay?
you go.
So, so that's the beauty of this, is that you get to hey, Tasha, and see my auntie Mary on there as well.
Okay.
I just want to give some acknowledgement to some of the other guests that are watching. But that's the biggest thing, is that, so it's the criterion, like I said, is you have to be an enrolled uh HBCU student. Okay, so that's number one. The prizes are, A, your artwork gets to be displayed on the cover. B, you get the credit for it. And C, you get $150
Mm.
um, to go towards any college expenses, and the money will go to you. So it's not, I'm not doing this where, okay, I'm sending it to your school. No, it's going to be sent to you. So how you use it, I'm recommending you use it for college expenses, but college expenses could be anything. If you got a car, you may need it to pay towards your car note, or your car insurance, or
Yeah.
you need gas,
Ooh,
so
that part.
it's it's things that people don't think about. As far, it's more to it than just books and tuition, right? There are a lot of fees, lab fees and all that kind of stuff that is needed. Or maybe if you're in music or whatever, and you have to, buy a suit and tie or something or whatever, so you need, proper attire to wear for that occasion. So whatever it is that you're going to use that money for, just don't go and get no alcohol. We ain't talking about using it to go get alcohol, or any other, events that's activities or whatever that you engage in that has nothing to do with supporting you in your college endeavors.
So let me ask you something. In doing the cover of the book, do you have certain guidelines they got to draw on, or is it just whatever they feel like drawing?
Oh no, we ain't doing that.
Okay.
No, but
You asked that. No, we ain't doing that.
no, no, no,
You know,
no,
it's
no,
gotta
no,
be,
no,
gotta be some
no,
guideline. No, I know you got
no.
some guidelines there.
Oh, absolutely. So let me start out by saying this. Number one, my baby New Prince, with New Prince Entertainment, he's also with OMG Sounds and OMG Lens. He is going to be designing the flyer, which will give, just a nice quick promo, to say that this is what it is. This is how long the event is going to be running. But I'm just giving because you are the first to do the interview, so I'm unleashing some of the
Okay.
details here on the Ron G. Warren show.
All right.
So let me say, so not only, I mean, you have, like I said, you have to be 18, but I'm gonna go ahead and read, because like I said, I was working on this all yesterday. Well, not all yesterday, I had to work, but okay, so this is what you're going to see, and I'm reading this verbatim. Okay.
Okay.
The eligibility and scope. So we are having a national art contest. Participants must be attending a historically Black college university. Who can enter? You must be at least 18 years old, attending a HBCU, must be a United States citizen, do not have to be a resident of Texas. So I wanted to make that clear. Rules and judging criteria. The artwork can be a sketch or a painting. Okay. And so just to clarify, it has to be at 300 DPI. For all of our art students should understand that. That means it needs to be 1,800 times 2,700 pixels. Okay. The artwork should be able to fit a 6x9 book cover. All right. So originality and copyright, the submission must be original artwork and free from copyright infringement. The theme for this contest is creating successful events. Okay.
Okay.
So that kind of gives you a little bit there, how you will be judged. So the participants will be judged on originality, creativity, and overall impression of capturing the theme and how well the artwork stands out. So if anybody's ever seen any of the books that I have or whatever, the books, the cover of these books, like my very first book, A Mistaken Trust, when you look at the cover of that book says a lot, you know, and I mean, I can write a whole story just off of the cover of that book. So that is how I want the participants to think of as far as creativity. Say, this needs to be an eye stopper. That means if I sit it on a shelf, if somebody walks by it, they need to be able to double back and say, "Oh, wait a minute, let me see that." That's what I want. That's the type of art that I'm looking for.
Hmm.
Nothing egregious, please. No, no nudiness and none of that kind of stuff. I would hope that I don't need to say that, but I need, I guess I should
Yes.
see that. We want to keep it respectful. But yes, definitely want the creativity. The contest will run for approximately 90 days. So sometime in between September to about middle of November. So I'm letting the cat out the bag a little early, but I should have everything typed up and ready to go about the middle of September, and send it out for everyone.
Okay. Wow. You know, whoever wins the contest, like I said, it goes in their portfolio, and yet they can brag about when that book reached number one, they can brag about, I did that.
Yep.
I turned around and I do photography, and this young lady was going to drive all the way to Dallas to do a photo shoot. So she said, "Do you do?" Yes, I do. You do? I said, "Yeah." I brought everything over there, took all the pictures, and a couple of my pictures landed on. Matter of fact, her picture of herself is on the front page, is on her book cover. You know,
Nice.
I've never done that before. I just took pictures, so I could brag about. I did that.
Yep.
And a lot of people like hearing that. I would love to see the expression on a student face when they win.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man,
Oh yes.
you got to have that live so we can see the expression on that student's face because that's going to be priceless.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's, and I'm sure folks are like, well, why didn't you pick somebody that's already an artist, is already, out there and has artwork that's already kind of somewhat known or in the beginning stages of their artwork.
Mhm.
Well, for first of all, this targets two things. One is highlighting and reminding parents and students that there are HBCU colleges out there. That's number one.
Yeah,
Because unfortunately, because they don't have all of the monies as some of these other universities, they are unable to do a lot of the commercials and advertisements, and they're not offered to be in some of these other companies, that they advertise for, those for any of the well, for HBCUs, they don't advertise for them.
right.
And I mean, I can even say, I can go on record and say, I haven't seen not one military
Hmm.
institution that has recommended or pushed for minority students or HBCUs for people to attend any of those.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I'm like, so whatever I can do on my end as an African American female out here, I consider myself a leader, consider myself an entrepreneur, a businesswoman. I am willing to give back, and this is a part of my way of giving back.
I applaud you for that, for giving back. A lot of people sort of forget where they came from. And
Mm,
when you start giving back, because who knows, you may touch somebody out there, they may want to do what you're doing. And I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said. Why are you getting people that's not known as an artist? Well, the ones that known as an artist, how did they get started? Probably
mm,
doing the same thing.
yeah.
Give everybody the opportunity to show their work. And even though the ones who do not win, they
Hmm.
could keep that artwork and show, hey, I entered this in a contest. You could still they could still do something with that, put in their portfolio as things go along. So, to me, it's a win-win situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and so it is a part of the submission process, which I did not continue on reading on that part, but um, how would they submit their artwork? Well, first off, they're going to submit the artwork, but they also going to fill out the release form, which the release form is digital, but they can, feel more than free to download it and print it out and attach it along with the application. The application is not very invasive. It only asks for your name, your first and last name, obviously the name of the school the HBCU school that you are attending, and what year. So how many years have you been in? Are you a freshman, in college, or are you a senior or whatever, right? So I would like to know what year. It asks the question, are you have you already graduated? Because some people will try to be slick and be like, oh, well, I attended a HBCU, but that's why I'm asking the question. Are you a current student or are you a graduate? If you are a graduate, you're ineligible. Okay, this is for current students only. So that's, I wanted to make that very, very clear, that it's not for students that are already in high school. This is for students that are currently enrolled in an HBCU, and it is not only open to, like I said, Texas. This is a national art contest that I'm going to do. Um, so, and if you only send your application and your artwork and do not fill out the release form, you're ineligible. I I cannot make that. I
Yeah,
have to emphasize that part because we need to be able to have user um, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? We need to be able to use your artwork, right? And
yeah.
it needs to definitely be original. I mean, it's no need in be holding the contest if we can't even put it on the art book. So,
Right,
and then as far as like royalties and all that, I want to make that clear that your royalties is what you're getting from the prize. The prize is you getting the front cover, getting the credit saying that you did the artwork, and the cash prize. So there is no additional royalties outside of that. So I do want to make that crystal clear. Now, if you decide to buy the book later and you buy it from me, from my company, and you want to sell it, you do what you do. When you can sign saying this is my artwork or whatever, I
yeah.
will not hold that against you. You can do that. Um, but I do have an address for them to send like I said, when they send the release form, like it is digital, but if they want to download it, they can attach that to the application and their artwork and send that to the address, which will be that I'll be sending out along with that the paperwork. So
Okay.
um, let me see. So the like I said, so the date that I'm looking for or looking towards is September the 15th to December the 15th. I'm looking at having that out by 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. It will end
Ooh,
December 15th, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
look at you with your
Um,
times.
yeah,
I
I
like
have
that.
to get the
Yeah.
I, yes. Hey, William. Hey, Michelle. Just want to throw that out there. I got some folks up here watching um, full and clear view. She can only see half of me. Okay. So let me do that. Okay. They can see, so they can see me.
All right.
Okay. So as far as the judging and notification, um, let's see.
Oh, Majestic One, June. Hello, how y'all doing this afternoon?
Okay. Um, let's see. Another book will make the okay. So the author, which is myself, will make the final decision on the winner of the book.
No. You mean I can't do it?
Well, we can have a panel of folks that will start it out, right? They can start it out. So and I'll get more clarification, and make sure that that's embedded in there. But for right now, like I said, I just drafted this last night, but I wanted to have something ready for today to just kind of give some insight, get folks
Yeah.
ready, get people talking about it, and so that they can get ready. So start looking for it. It will be on, as you've seen it here, but it will be on the Facebook page. It'll be you can go to Dr. Goshay's novels and curriculums, and all of that will be on there. I'll have it across all of my YouTube social media sites, so YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So you just look for Mary Goshay on there, and she'll be able to find it.
Make sure you send me that information so I can do my thing with it. You know what I'll do.
Yes. Yes.
I put my positive twist on it, and
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
everything. I was just playing and say I can't do, but you're right. You should be the person to make the that one decision, and because it's your book,
Yeah.
it's out there. So now we don't talk about the artwork and all that stuff. Do you want to share just a tidbit what's going to be in that book?
Oh, sure, sure. I can do that for you.
Okay, I just
Sure.
want to
I can
know because
do that.
here we are building up the artwork and all that stuff. Okay, what's inside that cover?
Ah, so one of the biggest things, like I said, was uh being able to interview different business owners. And this is for people that have been a host or been a vendor of an event. And so there's going to be obviously some insight on uh, obviously to identify what a host is, what a vendor is, um, given some tips, tricks, of the trade of how to be a host, how to be a vendor,
Mhm.
um, and just things that people don't think about, things to look for. There's and having that personal insight from those folks that are interviewed, I think that helps give it that personal touch because it's nothing like talking to people that have done it, been there, done it, right? And what I've seen with a lot of past books is like they'll tell you something simplistic as um, well, you need to do logistics. Well, if I'm brand new at this, I don't know all of what logistics is. What does that entail? And there's a lot to logistics, and not only just on the host side of the house, but there is logistics on the vendors side of the house. Things that you need to look for. If you're attending an event, right, as a vendor, well, first of all, there's some questions that you should be asking your host before you put your money out there, because and then there's some tips on the flip side without going into detail, but there's some tips on the whole side of the house of paying attention to who it is that you're having to come to your event, because to be a vendor, because again, there's things that you should have as far as like insurance, right? It's something that we don't
Yeah,
think about, you know. Um, do you have a permit? Does that vendor have a permit? So, and the thing is that people don't realize that there are legal ramifications that can happen to you, your company. You could lose everything,
mhm.
of not having some of these little things. They're little, but they're major. They can have a
Right.
major impact on you continuing business, your credibility as a vendor or as a host. One big issue that I have seen, and it's something that's shared here in my book. Hi, Keith, how you doing? Is too often vendors, they're excited, because they want to get their business out there, and they're trusting that host to have publicized this event, so that they can make some money, right?
Hmm.
And too often, what happens is the host is so excited that somebody's reaching out to be a vendor to pay money, which will help offset the cost of them having the event, that they're not paying attention to how many of the same kind of a vendor they are having at their event. So, prime example, you have an event and you are only expecting, let's say, 100 people, and that's a low ball number, but I'm just going to throw
Hmm.
that out there. But then you turn around and you got 4 or 5 food trucks. Well, how do you expect them food trucks to really make money if you got 4 or 5 food trucks? Like that's ridiculous. So, and believe it or not, I've been to events that this has happened. And what has happened is the vendor is pissed off because they have not made any money. And
Mm,
believe me, they will talk about you.
yes.
It will get around, and so now you're wondering why every time you have an event, you have to always keep trying to find new people and convince them to come to your event. Trust me, if you're a host and I come to your event as a vendor and I make a lot of money at your event, man, you ain't got to worry about reaching out to me. I'm reaching out to you. Hey, when is the next event?
Exactly.
Let me get my bid in early. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
so those are some of the key things that we capture in there. It's practical knowledge. It is not just an abstract like I said, you need to do logistics. But hey, Tam, but this is a real life practical, not just checklist, but real insight on being a host and being a vendor. And as we know, the times change, so different things will change. So I'm sure there'll probably be some updates over the years that we'll have to, change some things because, like I said, the things have changed. The way we used to do things back in the day when you was advertising, well, social media wasn't even a part of the spectrum. It was getting in the newspaper, doing a blog, doing a newsletter, stuff like that. But now, what's the quickest way to reach the masses today?
Hmm.
It's social media.
So
So,
I'm,
but
I'm gonna,
things have changed. So we
yeah,
have to change with the times.
right. I'm gonna go back. You saying that vendors and stuff should be licensed and all that. I agree with you on that. But I ran across somebody. It was a loophole, and what it
Mhm.
was, they hired this one company that was licensed and bonded. Okay, but the guy who they hired from the company, he had his workers there. And they found out the workers were not licensed and bonded, so they kicked them out.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't realize if your business is licensed and bonded, is your employees licensed and bonded? And that was a good
Yep.
question somebody brought up because you got to make sure you do that. Everybody is involved.
Mhm. Yep. And that's it. I know there was an event that I attended. I was a vendor for in Colorado, and every single one of us had to do a permit in order to do this event. Now, and even though the my the only thing I had was books, right? At the time, I wasn't I didn't have my movie. I wasn't selling tickets for my movie at the time. It was just really just to sell my books, get my books out there. And what folks don't realize too is there is sales tax,
Mm,
you know, that
yep,
comes along with that. So if you are operating with a company and let's just say you're the host and your people don't A, have insurance, B, don't have a permit, C, are not charging the sales tax to that, well, first of all, that particular vendor is going to stand to get into some serious trouble. And then if somebody gets hurt or whatever because of something that their product or service caused,
yeah.
people can come back and you're liably you can be held liable for that. So and I had I'm a researcher, so I think it's well anyway, so I looked this up, right, about the legal ramifications of that because I wanted to know. I didn't just want to put stuff out there and just say, oh
Right.
yeah, you can get into trouble. uh Let me tell you, not only can you lose credibility and lose your business, but you can be subject to fines and imprisonment. And people
Yes.
don't realize that is possible. But you're out here and you're operating without a business license or any that kind of stuff. You can absolutely face some punitive damages with that.
So
So,
I'm gonna go back to business licenses. People realize when they go down to the county and get a DBA, they think they're a business. That is so false. You are not.
No.
You're not a business. You're operating
No.
on the assumption that somebody told you you was without looking up the Secretary of State.
Right.
There's certain things you have to do. DBA is, to me, the DBA is just there for you to get a checking account for your business, basically. You know, but other than that, you got to get that EIN number, all that
Right.
stuff to be legit.
Oh yeah, and I would start with that. Be honest. If you are thinking about doing a business, and obviously I don't get knee deep into that part of it. That would be another book. Um, but but I can I can share this with you that before you even get to the part of all of the licenses and all that kind of stuff, you really need to do your homework. Because for one, you need to know, let's just say I want to call my business Sherry's Bakery, right? I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Well, I have to look up copyright stuff to see, is
Mhm.
there anybody else named Sherry's Bakery? Right? I have to pay attention to stuff like that. I have to look at the logos, and I have to be very cognizant of my logo. Does anybody else have my logo? So I would urge anyone, if you're talking about trying to do a business, please take time, do the legwork, make sure that everything within your business is going to be original, because you would hate to sit there and be operating a business for years down the line, only for them to come back and take your money because they say that you've been operating illegally and
Okay.
charge you all these back taxes, uh because you've been operating under the table.
Hmm. And the
So,
state and government are ruthless. They don't give you 20 years, but they want their money.
mm,
You going to jail or both, just like you
yeah.
said. Or both. Hey, we got a question right here. Somebody chimed in who is talking about food trucks. It
Uh-huh.
says, what about if all the food trucks are different? She was
Well,
talking about that time you went there and the vendors didn't make money, and so
so again, here's the problem with that. And this is just my recommendation, one of the recommendations that I put. Don't have no more than two food trucks. You want to pay attention to what is your target audience, and how many people are you going to attendees that you're going to have that's going to attend at your event. So if you're only going to have 100 people at your event, I am telling you, I don't care if you have four different food trucks, they are not going to make money. They're not. It's it's sad, but it's the truth, because somebody may only like this one truck may only have ices. Well, this is Texas, right? So
mhm.
it's hot as the dickens out here. So guess what? Then they'll only get those ices,
Yeah.
and them other trucks, they'll be like, oh well, I'll just get something when I get home. So
Mm.
that other company, those other food trucks, they lose money. Or if somebody says, okay, well, I'm just going to get food, well, yeah, it's hot outside, and is it advantageous for an icy truck? Absolutely. But now they're not going to get anything, because these people over here, they got food and they got something cold to drink. So what I need an icy for?
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you want to limit the options that customers have, and do an A or a B. Don't do a A, B, C, or D. So pay attention to, that's why I say it's very, very important to look at the ratios and pay attention to how many people that you're expecting. Like if you're gonna have and I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you're gonna have 1,000 people, then yes, four food trucks is good, right?
Mhm.
Because now you don't want people having extended long waits in line and that kind of stuff. So yes,
Yeah.
four different food trucks, perfect. Okay. The object of this is what I'm saying is you want them to make money. And the thing is that hosts always charge the food trucks a lot of money to be at their event. And we ain't talking about no $100. We talking hundreds of dollars that they ask them. So guess what? If I'm going to spend $300, $400, $500 for your event, doggone it, I better make 2 to 3 times more than what you're charging me, because
Right.
I also have to make up the difference for if I have employees that are with me, the food that it's going to cost for me to get all of the condiments and all that kind of stuff. It's got to, it's got to make sense. The dollar's got to make sense.
Yeah.
So that is why I say it's not just that I break even with what I spent. I don't want to do business with you if I'm only breaking even.
Even.
Shoot.
Thank you. That only goes
I
so
came here to
far.
make, yeah, I came here to make some money because I'm planning for this. There's all type, you know, my ex and I had a food truck. It did food and all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, there is a lot entailed that people do not pay attention to. All of the
Hmm.
prep work that you have to do,
Thank you.
and you are taking a risk on, are you gonna make money at this event?
You
Right? So you already know, to you, your food is good.
know,
You've
right.
had customers, clientele that have said, hey, my food is good. But you don't know how many of them customers is going to show up at this person's event that I'm going to make money.
Hmm.
So I would definitely, you want your people to make money. And I ain't talking about a little bit of money. I'm talking about
A
money,
lot of
money.
money.
Something that they want to come back and be like, nah, you know
Hmm.
what? If somebody else offers them, like say on Saturday the 15th, and I'm just throwing this out there, right? Say Saturday 15th, but then somebody else says, oh well, I got an event, and I'm charging that. Guess who they going to? They going to the event that they think is going to make them the most amount of money. And that's just the bottom line.
You just said something right there that I preached to everybody about. They do not know behind the scenes what are you doing to get this prepared. All they see is that facade that looks so beautiful. They don't know what it took for you to get where to set up and get things going. Because
Yeah.
everybody's always saying, oh, it's not that hard to do that, huh? Really? Are you serious? Come on back here. Let me show you what we do behind the scenes. And they
Yeah.
will be shocked on
Yeah.
some of the stuff you have to do to make sure your product is out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot into that. Hey Donna, just say hello to them. Um, I just want to just put that out there. I mean, food truck is just one example. Jewelry is a whole nother one.
Hmm.
There, there are some very creative people, very, very, very creative people. And, I hate seeing when I go to an event and I got 3 or 4 different jurors, and each and every one of them in their craft, they are very good at the art that they create. It's different, right? And so, like one of the events, and I won't, like I said, I'm not going to name names of which events I went to, but one of the events I went to, they had so many jury people that I
Oh,
was
man.
annoyed by the time I got to the third person. And I wasn't trying to be rude, but there was just way too many of them. So I got to the point, I said, you know what? Unless you have something that is a showstopper, that's going to make me stop and turn my head and be like, man, that is so original, so unique. I
Yes.
gotta have that. That's the only way. And that was the only item that I bought at that particular event, because I was so freaking annoyed at how many doggone jurors that they had at this event. And that's just plain and simple. So you can actually piss your you
No, you didn't say that
attendance off.
word. Not you.
And pissed them off. Yes, I'm saying it. Doggone it, I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing this. I'm trying to help y'all.
It's so it really is. That's part of the organizer to make sure you don't get a clump of the same people there because nobody's gonna, it's just done. Now, what I like, um, the event that's taking place tomorrow that I'm part of, she have all type of different vendors. She picks the right ones to put in there, and I have
That's the
never,
hair show,
yeah,
right?
I have
Yeah,
never
yeah.
bought cologne in 30 years.
Mm,
Somebody turned me on the oil. And
mhm,
so what I do is this one lady, she's out there all the time, bless her heart. She said, Ron, I got something for you free. I haven't got it yet. But but she has different type of oils. And I buy different type of oil. I found out it was easy for me to order oils online and do the mixture myself. And that's what
mhm,
I do. And I create my own deal. But I'm just saying that some of these vendors have oils, candles.
mhm.
I like candles,
Yeah,
the
we
scented
love
candle.
candles too.
And when you go out there, vendors, different vendors out there, and I love it because each one is different. They're not all the same to me, and that's what makes a show successful is when you
E-
have different vendors.
Exactly. But and also the thing is you don't want your attendees to lose sight of what the event is about. So you don't,
Hmm.
so if your event is meant to have like a guest speaker there, but then also have vendors, please don't have so many vendors that people are out there and they spend so much time out there with the vendors that they lose sight of what they were really there
Yeah.
to do. So that's the other part of that. And that's what I said. I mean, this is why I feel like this book it's gonna be large, it's gonna be huge because it can tap on so many different levels of entrepreneurship. Whether you're, in the major having a big business or a small one, or I mean, even if you just want to host a birthday party or a retirement party, you
Mhm.
can still use this book. That's what I love about
See, and you got a book that's probably thicker than encyclopedia, right?
it. Well,
A law book. You have a
I'm
law
hoping
book.
not to be.
Yeah, I said, you see
I
the law libraries and books about this thick?
no, no, and that's the thing is that, with the table of contents, that's one of the things I would say.
Yeah,
I would strongly urge people, um uh definitely read the book. It's
yeah.
it I cannot tell you. I mean, I've put my heart and soul into this, for one. Two,
Hmm.
because I truly believe that it is necessary, it is needed, and so because I've seen it happen too often, too many times. I mean, and I've even experienced this, even being here in San Antonio, where there was an event that was pumped up to be so big to all of the vendors that, would you believe, as much money we paid? And I'll tell you how much money I paid. I paid $250 for to be a vendor at this event. And let me tell you, we had an egg
Oh,
of traffic.
mm,
Zero traffic. But you know what? The host made money because they had over 100 and something vendors.
yeah.
Now do the math.
Hmm. Don't have it
So
written, I
is
have it
there a
written on my
need?
calculator.
Absolutely. There is definitely a need for this book. And like I said, not just to help the host on how to do a better job in marketing, because it's the host's responsibility, but it's also the vendor's responsibility as well
Wait, wait,
to
wait,
make
wait a minute, wait a
the
minute. You had me go back
event
and do the
successful.
math. I told you I'm gonna do the math. $25,000 they made?
Yeah.
Man,
And the vendors made,
zero.
yep,
Ooh,
yeah,
ouch. Outrage.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh. Okay,
So, yeah.
okay.
So I'm like, enough.
Yeah,
Enough of this.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, oh.
Yeah.
So you know what? This hour went by real quick. You know that, don't you?
It, it always does. I told
I mean, I'm
we
looking
even
at the time.
doubled the time from before.
And I'm looking at the time, and while we were waiting for the time to come, I was telling her that I managed to get out there and cut the front yard and edge it. I got all my equipment set up in the garage for tomorrow, make sure everything's going on, and I'm just going to town. I was domesticated today. I did laundry. I did a little bit of everything going on today. And I
Yeah.
said, good. I get a break when I sit down here and talk to the doctor. And and I don't know what it is about us sitting down talking. It seems like time just flies by.
It does when you're having fun. Yes, it does.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and close this thing out. And I want you to tell everybody how to get a hold of you and just things that you have going on you want everybody to know about.
Absolutely. So definitely go on my Facebook page. That's probably one of the biggest ones. Dr. Goshay novels and curriculums. Go there. Or, if you look me up on Facebook and Mary Goshay, look at that. Go on the TikTok page. I don't hide my name. It's Mary Goshay across the board. So whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, any of those social medias you can find me on, or you can contact me directly. My business line, 726-225-2623. Again, that number is 726-225-2623. Feel free to email me if you have more personalized questions at Dr. Goshay. So it's Dr. Goshay, NAC21 at gmail.com. So any one of those ways you can get a hold of me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm on YouTube as well. So same thing is Mary Goshay. I'm not hiding from y'all. I'm telling you exactly where to
She's not
find me.
hiding. And I'm gonna put a shameless plug in right now. Um, Starting next week, we will be giving away tickets to Say Biff. We're giving away
Yes,
4 tickets for the opening night and Saturday during the day. So y'all just tune in and listen. And I know Goshay gonna be the first one to call in.
absolutely. And let me not forget, because I watch Ada's interview too. But
Oh,
we did this whole show and I forgot to tell you guys that we have an online event. So we did the in person. We forgot all about. We got to talk
that's
about the book too
right.
much. We
Go ahead,
forgot
talk about
to
that. We got
talk about
time.
to talk about the book. So I'm going to throw this in real quick. So September the 21st at 4 p.m., which is on a Sunday, Central Standard Time, we will be doing the online event for Dystopia. That is my short film, Dystopia. Right. So again, I've told you all of the social media sites and how to get a hold of me. I will not release the link to you until you have made the payment. So
Ooh.
the payment is $15 to watch the movie online. The reason why it costs more online than it does in person is because we are going to have some video footage of the actual uh, production crew and uh, with the actors and actresses. So yes.
Mm.
So absolutely. September the 21st. Get your tickets like yesterday. Get your tickets real quick. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna
back.
go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and make people mad. First of all, Miss One, it doesn't start today. She said, I'm calling in right now after the doctor for free tickets. You are a mess, girl. I just want to say, even with the online movie, this is the best part. It comes with free popcorn. All you got to do is go in your cabinet, pull out that microwave popcorn, and pop it and sit back and watch it.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
not that $15 popcorn that you get at the movie theaters. What? I have never figured this out. It costs more for concessions than it costs to get in the movie.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, ridiculous.
I
Ridiculous.
know,
But
I know.
that's how they make their money though.
I know, I know. All right, let me get going because we could go on
Yeah.
probably another hour, but
Oh yeah. You know how we do.
yeah, you take care, and I'm looking forward for your cousin is going to be on Monday,
Yes, he is.
and then we
One of
got
he was one of the production people, so absolutely.
and then we
Yes.
got Leon Fry coming on Monday too. So Monday's going to
Yes.
be a good showing Monday. So we
Yes.
appreciate it. Once
Looking
again,
forward
young
to it.
lady, we appreciate you coming on. And we always go back. One day we're gonna sit down, we're gonna tell everybody the truth on how we met, on how you hit me with that club and tripped me, because they gotta know that truth on what you did. But I'm just kidding. She didn't do that. All right, young lady. You take care
All
and
right.
tell Mr. Newpris to hurry up and get that flyer out because I want to see it.
Yes, our baby always busy, but I know
Yeah.
he will get he never lets me down.
There you
He's
go. And don't
phenomenal.
forget to send me
So
your info about the art, the deal going on. So
art contest,
yeah, so I get everything going on my end. Okay.
absolutely. We will
All right.
have that done.
All right.
Thanks,
You take care.
guys. All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
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 Thank you for tuning in to WSAN Radio. Catch us on our YouTube channel, WSAN Radio SA. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button.